Greetings from San Francisco. I pray that you are doing well and the Lord is continually moving in your life. My goodness, in the times that we're living and how fast things are moving as we get rapidly closer to 2021 and just the holiday seasons, and I can't imagine how your life is and all the things that are going on. But I pray that you're well and that the Lord has truly been speaking and moving in your life, at your job, at your home, wherever in this time that we're now reliving in, right? In a stay-at-home order. And in Jesus' name, God is continually has been with us, and we need to continue to trust in Him. And this past week I was feeling prior to before Sunday, I was feeling a little bit down because it's like, wow, we have to just go back onto being live on Facebook with our service, and the brethren can't come anymore. And so, but it's incredible how the Lord just is so good, and how He shows Himself. And I mean, even with our crew there at church, we were able to see two miracles happen. Two people were healed on the team, physically healed. And it just was like the Lord is saying, look at whatever is going on. This was totally a message for me. Look at whatever's going on. I'm still there. I'm the one that moves. I'm the one that speaks. I'm the one that does things. And though, yes, we need to be safe, and yes, governments and those that are above us need to make decisions. But man, what a proclamation of the Lord this past Sunday. And then just seeing His hand throughout the rest of the week, I really realized that nothing in life really is worthwhile unless we're willing to take a risk, and the risk is, in this context, is having faith and trusting the Lord when really an entire society is saying something else, or has the same spirit of fear or of condemnation or of whatever it is. It's like, this is the time as believers that our risk is to trust Him. I'm not saying walk around without masks or defy the law. I'm saying trust God in a situation where no one has faith in anything, and where we hear so many mixed messages, where instead of we're being told to put everything on hold, when God is saying, listen, I want to move, I want to touch, I want to heal, I want to grow. Nelson Mandela, he said this, he says, there's no passion to be found playing small and settling for a life that's less than the one you're capable of living, right? How do we live this prosperous, happy life, this life of growth, if we just settle for fear, or settle for something that is below us, that we settle for ashes when the Lord wants to give us gold? God wants to give us so much more. How do we have a life of fulfillment, right? Because that's where passion comes in, and passion is a lot of things. It's not just sexual. It's this hunger for life, hunger for movement, hunger for change, hunger for growth. That's passion. And if we just settle into fear, and settle into what we're told to do, then we'll be lifeless. We'll be, we'll be anemic, right? We'll have these anemic lives. We'll be pale and have no strength and have no iron in us. When God is saying, listen, I want to do this, I want to do that. I'm like, this past Sunday, I'm like, Lord, I'm going to preach and this and that. And some of the brethren are going to be there, the team and this, that, and the other. And he moves. He moves. Ephesians chapter 6, verse 10 and 12. It says this, finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord I've talked of this passage before, and this is really for me. Be strong in the Lord. Roberto, don't be strong in yourself. Don't be strong in your plans. Don't be strong in what you think is right. Be strong in the Lord and the power of his might. The Apostle Paul is very specific, not your might, not your power, in his power, in his might. Nobody else's. Not the boss, not family members, it's his power, it's his might, it's his strength. Look at what he says in verse 12. Put on the whole armor of God. What he's saying? He's saying, put on God. We see Paul saying that in other ways. Put on Christ in other passages. Put on Christ to be complete in him. Here he's just saying it differently. Put on the whole armor of God, that you may be able to stand against the ways of the devil. Right? So here we are. If we're like, look, I'm gonna take a risk. I'm gonna live by faith. I'm gonna live in the passions that God has given me to be everything I can be, or to experience all I can in this life, or in this season of 2020, in the middle of a pandemic. That I'm gonna be and grow and do everything I can. I'm not gonna wait around. And then he says, listen, stand. Don't be consumed by the negativity and fear that runs rampant right now in the society that we live in. Rampant. It's everywhere. You turn on the radio, every commercial, every ad, the DJ, it's all about COVID, 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 COVID. It's just fear. I know we need to be aware. I know we understand. But 9 months in, we understand. Wear a mask, wash your hands, stay away. We get it. And that's not the point. The point is that we stand strong so we're not swept away by the lie, by the fear that we're all going to die. We're all going to get this thing. Paul goes on in verse 12, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, and against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Let's not forget that. Some preachers are saying the virus is of the devil. Others are saying it's a virus of man, of humans, of created. Who cares? We don't wrestle against the physical. We don't wrestle against the virus. We wrestle against the rulers of the powers and principalities and the rulers of darkness that are against us. That's why Paul says, be strong in him. Stand in him. Be passionate in him. Take the risk while everyone else cowers. I heard this old pastor, and I say this respectfully, this old crusty pastor, pastored for decades, this, that, and the other. And he says, you're a bunch of cowards. We should be standing in this day. We should be going against the law. And I'm not saying I agree with him. He says, but we should go against the law. We should be being arrested by having our churches open and stuff. And the only reason why I bring that up is that I understand his passion, his desire that God is in control and God is going to do these things. I'm not saying we're going to break any laws. All I'm just saying is that be willing to take a risk. While nobody else has faith, you have faith. While everyone else cowers and buckles under fear, you stand strong. You realize it's the strength and the power and the might of God that's in you, that you expect God to move in great ways. Not in 2021 when things clear up. And I've heard that 2020 is going to be worse. It's going to be double worse. That's a lie from the devil. And even if it is, it's still a lie. Because if God is on the throne, and he is, then it's his power, and it's his might, and it's his strength. And his plans don't change. He didn't put the plans that he has for our lives on hold because the government, because of a sickness. Be encouraged. God has plans for your life. And maybe it didn't go the way that we wanted this year. But my goodness, if anything, we've got a clearer vision of God in 2020. We've seen the hand of God. Because it seems like there's no middle ground in 2020. Where are you? Did you fall away? Did you get consumed? Did you get swept away by the fear? Or are you the other one that stood your ground and became stronger and more resilient and more in tune with God? Because in 2020, there's no middle ground. There's no wishy-washy. There's either you got swept away and left the church and disappeared into the abyss of society, or you stood your place and you see God moving and you're doing different things and you feel the growth in your life and in your bones and your desire for Him is to go. I say be encouraged. Be encouraged. Instead of going into 2020 wringing our hands, oh my God, it's going to be worse. It's going to be scary. It's going to be... No, we're going to say, oh no, we're going to look at it square in the eye. Because we don't wrestle against flesh and blood. We wrestle against principalities and darkness in high places. And we're going to look it straight in the eye with the confidence that God has given us. And say, get thee behind me, Satan. For it is written, thou shalt worship the Lord thy God, and him only shalt thou serve. That's the spirit. That's the power. That's the risk taking. Be encouraged. Be encouraged. Let's enjoy this holiday and not whimper and complain that we have to do something different. Let's be creative and let's create a new memory. Let's create a new tradition. Right? Instead of complaining about we can't do this, let's take the opportunity to do something else. To make it more memorable. And then to go into 2020 with guns blazing. That's not a good analogy, but just ready to stand, ready to fight with the Spirit of God inside of us. Be encouraged. God is with us. Sunday at 10 o'clock, online, Facebook. Tell a friend, join. If you're not from Central Church, watch your church service. Watch it. Be encouraged. Be encouraged. God bless you. Lord willing, we'll see you soon.